up, everybody? Good morrow and merry meet. My name is Audra, and you are in for a treat. Yay! I'm so excited for, I guess, season 2. I didn't know what else to call it, but like, I'm not doing Fresh Face Sesh all year. I do it for like a period of time, and then, I take a break. So we're back with season 2, and I'm back with my friend T, and I'm so excited to be hanging out with, oh my gosh, I can't even, every time you like show up and you're like, I don't have any makeup on, I'm like, I hate your face because it's so beautiful and it hurts my feelings. My feelings.
I was telling you before we got on camera, I just doubled up on the CeraVe so it would kind of look like highlighter. I was like, let me put a little extra grease on my cheeks.
I was like, there was a brief moment where I was like, maybe I'll put a little concealer on to hide these like uber deep eyes. And I was like, forget it. I'm too tired. I used like a mask, an eye mask for a period of time. But because like I've been using all this good skin shiz, I could just like leave the mask on. And like I didn't have to worry about the rest of my face like drying out like the Sahara Desert. So I was like, yay. Also, quick hello to everybody in the chat. Victory begins in the garden. Sharon, thank you for being here. Emily, hey. Hi, Feffy. Hi, Bethany. Serenity, you're here. Hi, everybody. If I haven't said hello, Maisha, Julia, Kimberly. Hi, how are you? For all you lurkers, hey, how y'all doing? I see you. All right, so I know that's all been done. Be sure to like the video, like Bethany so eloquently stated here. I say eloquently, like she said, like the video.
Yeah,
I was trying to use big words. But yeah, we were behind the scenes. We were kind of chatting about.
As soon as we're like on some sort of communication medium together, you and I are just like.
You know what? I thought about that a little bit ago whenever we have movie nights, because I realize that sometimes it's just like you and me being like, and then this, and then this. Yeah. And then, and everybody's just sitting there and I'm like, oh, let me just shut up.
It's like we're basically just doing a live podcast and everyone else is just hanging out. And I'm like, sorry, guys.
I'm really so sorry. We got into our black girl shit. So sorry. Like, apologize. Sorry if y'all hear this squeaky sound. It's like this weird little pillow thing that's supposed to be back here for my back. But I don't love this thing, but we'll see. But yeah, we were talking about.
Hopefully y'all can hear me okay, because I finally got headphones and they're like the wireless ones, and I'm not a tech person. I'm just like, hopefully these are connected correctly. I have no fucking idea.
They are. You did it. You were a magician. You win. Tell her what she wins. You win some Vizzy. No, this is Clear Eyes. You're welcome. Lifetime supply of Clear Eyes, which is I have to see an optometrist because my eyes are jacked and they have been getting like, they're always red, they're always dry. And then like when I've been going to work, I swear it's the humidity that's causing this because they're not this bad in the winter. And so it's like the other day they were just like burning. And I was like, they were like red and burning. And I was like, what have I done to you guys? I've only been nice to you. Like I try to do the good things. Are those Bose headphones?
They are. I don't remember who recommended these particular ones, but I'm not going to be out here researching different models of headphones for days upon days and reading reviews, because usually only lunatics write reviews of products. So someone I trust recommends something and I'm just like, all right, 4 stars or above, add to cart. And they were actually a super duper belated birthday gift from my mom, because I'm the type of person where if I want something, I already got it for myself already. But I'd been meaning to get wireless headphones for the longest time, and I wanted noise canceling ones because pre-Rona, I travel a lot and I hate children. So I wanted to have something for planes. And I was just like, I gotta have that noise cancellation because I'm always next to a baby. So it might have been Alicia. I'm not sure who it was, but somebody who is into all that kind of stuff mentioned these particular ones. And it's just like, Mommy, I figured out what I want for my birthday, even though it was 8 months ago.
Listen, my birthday is supposed to be every month because I'm an only child. So I was like, listen, I was like, Mom, can we go to Costco tomorrow? Which definitely means that I'm not paying. But like,
yeah, I've been on my mom's Costco card the entire time. Like I don't have my own account, but they let you have two Costco cards per account. So I'm just like, we're just bi-coastal. One card is in New York and one is in California for our Costco account.
Yeah, because Bo, Audra at home is filmed in front of a live people audience, and he's letting himself be known. He'll start this the second that he realizes I'm not talking to him. And this is this Triceratops that they sent for somebody sent that for his gotcha day to the PO box. So I'm not gonna pull real hard, babes. I'm gonna
Ray Ray, I mean, you've seen it like every movie night Zoom. As soon as I start talking to y'all, Ray Ray will like snap out of her nap and lose her mind and just be in my face. Like, who are you talking to? Why are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? I'm like, oh my God.
Every time I go live now, he started grabbing that because he knows it's noisy and he thinks I'll stop. And so what I've had to do is just keep going. And then he'll eventually like realize I'm not gonna stop. And so then he just like lays down and he's like, oh, so you're not going to pay attention to me? I'm like, I'm not. Sometimes I can like hand him his other toy.
Just because Sharon asked.
I am living. Oh,
hi,
my
Sharon.
God. The way her legs, she's looking at like.
She licked my face.
Like, what am I doing here?
So there you go. There's the hello from Ray Ray. For y'all. She needs her brows are getting out of control. It's time for a little
I
trip.
like her brows like that because she always looks slightly disappointed in everyone.
She looks super judgmental. She's just like,
yeah. She's like, what are you doing here? See,
this is a very ridiculous looking dog. Like every day I'm just like, that's just your face. Like you just look like that all the time.
I know, she just has such a sweet face. And I'm just like, well, I don't want to be here. I only want to be here when I want to be here. She's
so
mugging.
Funny looking.
I love her
always.
Though.
She's steady mobbing. Yeah, I love her too, obviously. But like, she's just the funniest dog. Like, I just look at her and start laughing. Like, she doesn't even have to be doing anything. No, we tried it a few times, but she is just too pushy, like getting in my face. And like, I can't sleep. So I was like, we're going to transition back to the dog bed.
See, Bo sleeps in the bed, and sometimes I get cricks in my neck because I guess I make room for him. Because he sleeps like you can see the pillows back. He sleeps on top of the pillows a lot, and then I have to like kind of wiggle and like battle to like get a pillow.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole thing.
It's also like when it comes down to sexy times with Mr. X or the Mr. X of the moment, the dog, assuming the dog is allowed to be in the bed, creates complications as well. So it's just like, I'm glad we transitioned back to you not thinking that this is your territory, because like, I don't need my dog jumping in the bed when I'm trying to get it in.
Close the door.
Well, I do that too at this point.
Yeah.
Because like, she'll just be like, if I don't close the door as well, she'll just do laps. Like,
because there's
walking
nothing
back and forth.
That's gonna get you out of the mood more than like being like, and then you look
those
to the
nails,
side, like,
nails on a wood floor the whole time,
and then just Bo being like,
yeah,
and I'm like,
he likes to watch.
This is uncomfortable. Don't look at us. Like, don't look at us.
Yeah,
like,
it's weird. It's weird. I don't like the dog in the room at all.
Bo does sleep like a grown man. He really does. Like sometimes when he's really getting into it, like I'll be on one side of the bed and he's like literally in the other, like right next to me on his back snoring. And it's just like, and I'll lay there being like, this is probably why I'm going to be single forever. Like, because I'm never like, oh, I wish I had someone to sleep in the bed with. I'm like, never mind. It's fine.
Yeah.
I got this big ass dog.
Yeah, like I'm remembering. We've been talking about this a lot on Zoom because for those of y'all who aren't part of our Patreon fams, Audra and I are both out there again, seeing if we can find love in these online dating streets. And I may or may not be. I don't even know if I'm single right now because Mr. X had the talk with me the other night, and I'm just like, wait a minute, what's happening right now?
The talk? Like the talk?
The talk, like, are we doing this? Yeah. And I was just like,
So you were very Aquarius about it.
Very, girl.
You were like,
Huh? Let me get you some ice.
Did you
Let me freshen up that drink.
Did you like freeze? Like, so are we doing this? You're like,
yeah. And then I was like, I'll be right back. And then the next morning when like I was taking Ray around, he was going to his car to like head off for his day. It was like, do you like remember everything we talked about last night? I was just like, oh God, he's confirming.
And you're like, oh, it's still happening. How do I?
I'm like, am I fucking single or not? I don't know. It's weird. But
I'm doing a bad job, like, because everyone is
like, especially because you're starting. Well, the main thing with this guy is like he ain't that. He is not ugly. But yeah.
There's not like,
but you're also like juggling new responsibilities with your job, with trying to be out there, and like I forgot how much of a time suck it can be to try to like go on dates with people. So I'm trying to be very discerning. Like one of the good things that has come out of the plague is like a lot more people are down to do like a FaceTime or something first. Cause like I don't need to have to do the beat, the outfit, the schlep, and then get there and know within 5 seconds I never want to see you again.
Yes.
So I've been a big fan of the like, let's FaceTime and vibe this out a little bit before we actually like do anything that's going to require significant time investment.
I just like, I'm very Taurus and I'm very picky about like literally everything. It's just a lot. If you work out, I'm already out. I don't work out. I'm not going to the gym. I'm not going to go to the gym. You know, that's not going to be a thing that happens for me. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Well, they might not care if you work out. Maybe they just work out for themselves.
No, they're too jacked. They're too jacked to not care. And then also, like, I have Greta, which is what I've affectionately named my gut. And so it's like me and Greta, and like then they're like working out all the time, and I'm like,
Yeah, I think there's such a thing as guys who are like suspiciously fit. Like you're just a little too fit. You are way too pressed about this body. Like it's one thing to work out for health and feeling good. And for me, I say all the time, it's like my antidepressant. But when you are essentially trying to be a fitness model, I'm like, I don't think we're compatible.
So this is the thing. People my age in Texas are they all apparently read some manual that said you needed to be jacked. And like,
it's because they're all ugly, probably.
Yes. I
gotta have something going on. According to you, they're all ugly.
And I'm having difficulties finding NBs. And so it's just like, I'm just trying to find like not man, not woman. And I'm just having difficulties with it. I'm like, I don't want any of this. I don't want this. I don't want, what I want is this. And I can't find it. Because if you get on those apps, those are even weirder and harder. Like it just feels like
there are apps for like non-binary folks, or
well, there's like alternative apps, but it like here's my problem with dating apps in general is like I am annoyed that they don't purge the I get very annoyed that they don't purge it. Like, please
dead
purge
accounts.
It. My camera's over here, by the way, because that was the only place that I could put it, which is why it looks like I'm staring off into space. But like, I'm looking at you, but my camera's here. Like I wish they would like purge the dead profiles, because there's just like this level of irritation of like matching, because like that's why most people don't even want to
matching with people who haven't even used the app in years.
Yeah. And like
they're probably married or some shit.
Yeah. And they're like, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to pay for it, because I know that the second I pay for it, all I'm going to get is a bunch of dead profiles who are already done with it. Like, no. So I don't know. I'm just.
Yeah.
I
don't want to pay for it, because I'm just like,
I don't want to pay to date.
I mean, I guess that because I like, depending on which one you're using, like paying for it will maybe let you see the people who like you first. So you can kind of limit who you're like swiping through to only the people who have already liked you, which might be useful. But I'm like, I don't need to pay for that, because they're going to be in my stack anyway. So like, why should I pay for it? Like, if they've liked me, you're still going to put them in my stack for free. So why the fuck should I pay you?
Thank you.
They're just already going to
throw them
feed
back
them to me.
further or something. They're gonna be like, we're gonna put them back.
Yeah,
here.
you'll mix in some folks who maybe haven't seen me yet or already passed me, whatever. But the people who have actively liked me are still going to be in my stack. So why should I pay to see that?
Well, I keep getting people who are like, you're, because I'm Demi. Excuse me, I'm demisexual. So I keep getting people who are like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. I don't think I could stop myself from wanting to take you to bed. And I'm like, I'm the wrong person. Goodbye.
Can you define demisexual? Because I think we talked about this, but I was already like mid blackout because we had just watched like a JCVD movie and I was like drinking every time he did the splits.
That was so fun. Watching back-to-back JCVD, priceless. We need to have like more of those. We need to have like JCVD,
just like the intro. You guys, we did a double Van Damme movie night on my Patreon, and in one of the double Van Damme double features, he plays twins. So it's like double the Van Dammage in one movie. And we get introduced to like, they get separated like as infants, yada, it's all a thing. It's called Double Impact?
Yes, Double Impact.
We first meet one of the twins like as he's, I guess, working out at like a health club in LA in like the early 90s. And he's wearing like this all turquoise spandex outfit. And he's trying to do this like LA guy accent, but I'm like, you sound French because you're fucking Belgian.
And he's like, hey. You're like, what?
Because of my big legs, I can do the kicks easily and the splits. And he drops into like a full side split, like cakes on point. And I was like, I was just like, man, oh man, a Shevitz.
It was like,
yeah, it was so good. It was a sexual awakening for your girl TT, because let me tell you something. The great dick famine of 2020 was not easy on me.
Listen, I'm very comfortable with handling my own business now.
I'm not, because I like to make out. I like the weight of a man on top of me.
I like soft kisses. Don't hold or touch me too long or I become uncomfortable. Like I literally, like this is by Terrence Williams design. I had to put this over my ears because I was sitting out on my balcony and this fly kept buzzing and that will send me into a hole. And I was like, I'm not about to have a meltdown before I go live. So I put the headphone into my, because like I feel like they're trying to get in my ear and they just deliberately bzz around my ears. So anyways, so I did that. But Demi. It's when you need and require like emotional connection to like.
Right, because when you were describing it was reminding me of sapiosexual.
Yeah.
Which I think I have a touch of. Like I've fucked a lot of dummies. It's not where it's at.
It really is.
It's just like
you're just like, oh, sweetie.
They're there.
Like well, it looks like I gotta go. You're stupid.
Yeah. Oh, are you dumb?
I know. There's something terrible about being around someone who's like just so stupid and like they don't know that they're stupid. And then, like, here's the thing. I look at them and I'm like, I wish I could be that stupid. Because then like I feel like life is so much easier when you're not aware. Like
yes,
it's just so nice.
To misquote James Baldwin, to be Black and semi-conscious in America is to be in a constant state of rage. Because if I were completely out of it, I would be a lot more peaceful.
No, Cecily said they had an actual mayfly fly into their ear while they were sleeping. And see, that's why I sleep with blankets over my ears every time.
Hell to the no.
Because I had a breakdown.
It's a no. It's a no.
What is it? Like 2 days ago. I don't know what it was. Emily probably knows, but probably not because both me and Emily have difficulties with time. But sometime this week, someone knocked on my door. And when I tell you that I had a meltdown from it, like I started shaking. I was like, because like it was a neighbor, I guess. And I guess Chewy accidentally sent me 2 shipments of the same thing. And like I only paid for one. And I'm like, okay, so I have a lot of dog food now. But like,
Yeah.
Like he's out there, like he knocked really hard, and so like that kind of shook me. And then I'm like naked, and he's like, "Hey, it's your neighbor." I'm like, "Hi." He's like, "I got a package for you. They accidentally delivered it to me." And I'm like, I'm like, "Just leave it out there. I'm not clothed." And like,
I'm not decent.
He leaves, and I'm like, for like a good 5 minutes at least, I was shaking. I was like. Because like I don't, no one knocks on my door, and if they do, it's very, because I like when I have Uber deliveries and stuff, like I have them do like a very soft knock, because that it just, I don't know why it spooks me and it panics me, but it sends me into like next orbit, and like I just start like melting down. So it was like, and the whole time I'm like trying to talk to Emily on Marco Polo, and I'm just like, I am literally shaking. I mean, I don't know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
And and then he's just like trying to like be there and just
Talk
like listen
down.
to me panic. Just like that. Those are the good friends that you have, when they're just like listening to you fall into a whole panic and be like, I felt that. Emily came on. I was like, I felt that. That I heard the change in your voice. I'm like, yeah, just leave it by the. Thank you, Fila. Be a normal neighbor. That's what bothered me.
Yeah.
I'm like, why wouldn't you just?
I wouldn't knock. I would just put it by your door and walk the fuck away. But
Yeah,
that's also because like I am the person where if someone knocks on my door, like, and I'm not expecting anyone, I very calmly walk to my machete, which is right behind me, pick that up, stroll up to the door. Who is it? I mean, I even hate getting cold called. If you cold call me, like my eyes go to my phone like, who the fuck? If I'm not expecting a phone call or someone at my door, I'm on high alert instantaneously. I don't like it.
How about like, I'm like, dun 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 dun, now freeze.
Yeah.
Because like I'm the person where you knock on my door.
Maisha, I did feel the earthquake. It wasn't strong, but immediately I was just like, oh, earthquake. And I texted my friends the word earthquake in all caps, and they were like, yeah, I was in the bathtub. Not cool.
Wait, people are still taking baths. Well, people do take baths. I can't take a bath, but for all of you who take baths,
I would need to shower first.
Thank you.
Like I don't want to be sitting in a pool of my own filth.
Thank you. That is,
the bath would be for relaxation, not cleansing my body, because that just doesn't seem.
It's not.
No, thank you.
Every time I've tried to like, also like I have to have like a brand new bathtub that no one has lain in, because of the way that my stupid mind works. It doesn't matter how much I clean it, because people are like, you clean it. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I will be sitting there, and within 3 to 5 minutes, like trying to like read a book and relax after I've taken the shower and I get in the bath, and then within 3 to 5 minutes, I'm like, someone else's ass was here. You clean it. It does not. Oh, their body.
Yeah, for me, it's just like, that's what Comet's for.
I can't do it. Like, I'll like it said, like the ghost of asses past.
The ghost of someone's ass crack. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I can use bleach. I can use
the ghost of ass crack past.
Yes, I cannot handle it. So like the only time I was even able to make it like 10 minutes, I put like a whole towel down.
That seems grosser to me, like a giant wet towel on the bottom of the bathtub.
Well, but it's all wet. You're wet. The tub's wet.
But it's a texture thing. I'm just imagining like the feeling of a completely soaked towel underneath me in a bathtub. It's just, you know what? I'm just going to have a shower. Let's just call the whole thing off.
Like, yeah, that's why I just do the shower, because I cannot.
It's not for me. Like, clearly this wasn't meant to happen.
My butt is not touching the place of other, like where the other asses have been. I can feel it. Like, no, I can feel
Which is the mostly forgotten spinoff of where the wild things are, is where the asses have been.
I know. The Ghost of Asses Past is my new band name.
Yeah.
What's up, Chicago? We are the Ghost of Asses Past. And I like to wear. No, I'm sorry. Like, because like I always figure if I was a fan, it'd be like some weird pop punk band because that's who I am as a person. But
yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, like I was really excited. Mark Hoppus just finished chemotherapy for his leukemia. I believe he has.
I didn't even know that was happening.
Yeah. Like, did you know Norm Macdonald died?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
I was upset about that.
Yeah, I was too. I definitely like was just kind of like, what the fuck is going on? Because I feel like Norm Macdonald is someone who for me never got his flowers. Like out of all the Weekend Update hosts, Norm and Kevin Nealon are my favorites.
Yes.
Like by far, like not Tina Fey, definitely not Jimmy fucking Fallon. But like I loved Norm. Wow.
I took it
yeah, like Norm was one of my favorites because like he just had such a dry like nature to him, and he's just like his style of comedy always really spoke to me. I don't know. I feel like he just was never as famous as I thought he should have been.
Yes.
Because I feel like he was just sort of like I just feel like he was ahead of his time in a lot of ways. He's sort of this guy who was like in that echelon with like Stephen Wright and Mitch Hedberg and just like guys who are like on their own thing. And it's just like, if you get it, you get it. And if you don't get it, it's because you haven't heard of him.
Yes. Cause like,
yeah,
I'm one of the few people who had, like, I bought the movie Dirty, because like that was back, what was that place called? I think you told me that before, but there was like this huge place where you could buy and sell used movies. I think that might be it. And I went, it's on Sunset, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not anymore though.
There. Yeah. Oh, sad face.
Yeah. They're not gone. The original location is up in San Francisco, and I think they actually have 2 locations in the Bay Area. And then they opened one in LA a long time ago, like after I was already out here. But I remember it was still like reasonably new when I got out here for college. And they were on Sunset forever, but Miss Rona did her thing, and I think they had to downsize. So now they're actually supposedly not far from where they were, but I haven't been to the new location yet. I just heard it's a lot smaller.
Yeah, because like I bought that movie. I had never, because like that was back in the day. And I still do that actually. I'll buy movies I've never seen before because like why not? I don't understand. Like if it sucks, it sucks. Like that's life. I'll live. So I bought Dirty Work, I believe used, and that is to this day still one of I just never understood why people didn't understand how funny it was. Like it's hilarious. It's like Norm Macdonald, and then that like one guy who's like the I feel like he was on, I can't remember his name, but he was always doing cocaine.
Artie Lang?
Yes.
Just by getting that correctly, that's a read.
Right?
That's a fucking read.
I'm like, he was always doing cocaine. Artie Lang? Yes.
Artie Lang.
And I even think Chevy Chase is in that movie. Like it's so,
I believe so,
hilarious.
Because Chevy, I think, was a big hero of Norm's. So when he got Weekend Update, with Chevy being the original Weekend Update guy, I think that was like a huge like moment in Norm's life, where it's just like, oh my God, I'm following in my idol's footsteps. So yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, so like that was one where I was sad about, and then like whatever. Jim Brewer was in the news.
Love Brewer.
For screaming about being mad that people couldn't go, because like he was doing Live Nation shows, and Live Nation is requiring vaccinations because, and it's like, dude, it's business. Live Nation does not want to get caught up and being like a hub for a bunch of people catching the Rona. So like, what
the Rona?
You know, what do you want them to do? So he went on this like whole thing. I don't know that I actually ever liked Jim Brewer. Like, I think that I found him okay at times, but I felt like he was always too high for me. So he
doesn't even smoke weed.
Like he just seems
he
like
used to, but he looks like he's constantly high.
Yeah,
like that's kind of like the curse. Yeah, because he isn't half baked, and I think at that time he was still a weed smoker, but he stopped smoking weed like over 10 years ago. So it's funny that people still think of him that way. Brewer, for me, like I love him in interviews. So he used to go on Howard Stern a lot. And he was one of my favorite guests because like he was just so funny, great storyteller. But like I was never really into his like work. Like I think he had a sitcom that lasted 5 minutes and some other stuff. And like I'm not really into his stand-up even, but I love just like watching him talk to other people.
Yeah. There's people. Yeah. There's people.
Tina, what's up, girl?
Hello, Tina's here. Did you see Tina's reveal of her fabulous palette? Because I did.
I haven't yet. I saw something on her feed teasing it. I was just like, is it a collab? But I haven't actually seen. I'm so behind on YouTube right now. It's ridiculous.
It's gorgeous. Wednesday, y'all. Wednesday. Hopefully, if I can put all my ducks in a row. But Wednesday. It is so beautiful. I'm so excited. Like, that's one of those.
That is exciting. Because like for someone who's such a connoisseur of color stories and formulas and curations, I feel like it's inevitably going to be super dope and thoughtful and unique.
Okay, just quick preview. Here's the thing. I could immediately tell when I opened up that palette that it was very obvious that Tina put it together so that every single one of the shimmers would go with the blue matte. And I was like, perfection. Like I've always wanted people to like not just have like random. I feel like a lot of people's collabs are kind of random. Not everybody, but a lot of people's are like kind of random as fuck. You know what I mean? It's just like there's some shit in there, and they're like, "This reminded me of trees," and you're like, "Okay, well, okay."
When a palette is thoughtful, not just in the color selection, but actually like the way they're arranged within the palette, it is very obvious.
Yes.
At least if you're like if you're like a makeup nerd, then it's obvious.
Yes. Wait, today's the 18th. I'm like, wait, because somebody was like, is it tomorrow that launches? Today's the 18th. It's the 20th, I thought. But yeah, I feel like there's very few people who do that. See, Emily knows. Yeah. I have been. I'm
fellow makeup nerd.
I am so behind though on like my Instagram, YouTube, like my Instagram makeup stuff because like I just don't have time. I literally. When I get home, it's like I get home, I let Bo out, I eat some food, I take a shower, I go to bed. And like if I have to edit something, it's like I'm editing while I'm eating, and then when I'm done eating, I'm like, okay, well, we'll finish this tomorrow. And I'm like kind of running in this like odd circle since I started working. So like that's a thing. But
and trying to date.
Oh gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna keep trying to date. I think I'm gonna just let it go. I think I've been granted like 2 loves in my life. I think that maybe that's all I'm supposed to have.
I feel the reticence to like not want to deal with it because there is so much hassle involved. But I don't know. As we were talking about, you know, like on many Zooms, I was just kind of like, I do want romantic love in my life. And I think for a long time, because of my personality, the industry I'm in, I tend to move in ways that are very much like toxic masculinity influenced, where for a long time she's like, I don't need love, I just want to have fun. And like that to me equated power, like not having attachments, not being able to invest emotionally in people. And something about Rona made me realize, no, that's not power, that's like weakness and avoiding confronting your actual feelings. And I realized it took a lot of courage for me to come to terms with that. Like, no, I actually do want romantic love. Like it takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable, which is kind of counterintuitive, but that's honestly the case. To be all like, I don't need nobody, I got my own, independent woman part 1. Like that's not scrown girl.
Because I actually talked about that. Like I don't know what video I did because I don't know. There's a lot of but I recently, sometime either this month or like last month, I talked about the search for emotional intimacy, and I was talking about how like that, like you felt like you weren't feminist. No, sir. You weren't feminist if you weren't out there like having zero feelings and, you know, treat you guys the way they treat us. And I'm like,
basically upholding the stereotypes of what is masculine, because that hurts men and women. Toxic masculinity hurts men like just as well. Like I'm not going to say equally, but just in the same ways that like there are negative effects for men, or negative effects for women, there's negative effects for men.
Yeah, because think about it this way. When you're busy doing it like a dude. Like there's somebody who's falling for you that
girl.
you're not falling for, or that you could have been falling for if you weren't busy trying to like not have feelings. And then he's got his head home. And then he's like back there tearing that shit out. But then like you like rebuff them and then you've left them bitter. Like you just keep, I feel like we're in this circle of like leaving each other bitter. And it's like,
and deciding things based on ego instead of what your actual goals are, because I'm trying to date differently this time. Like, because I hate to admit it, but I'm a Samantha. All right. So like, usually it's just like, I got a couple 25-year-olds in my text right now, but not this time. Not this time. I'm like, you know what? Let me. My goals are different, so I need to move differently in this dating thing. Like, I can't be out here just trying to be like, how many things can I have going on at once? Because that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to like have flings. I'm not looking to just have fun. I'm trying to actually like find a romantic partner that is lasting. So so I'm moving very differently this time, and it's weird because I still have that same like Aquarian like. I'll see your boundary and I'll raise you several walls.
That was me. I'm just like, I can't let you in. Because like my first true love, Theo the Greek, I'm still
listening to you because I got the cordless, but I got a refill. BRB. Keep talking.
You are fine. He was he'd been emotionally screwed. So like, because he had his heart broken, he made decisions that like he wasn't going to fall in love. And I was like, okay, bro. But it was like, I still loved him. And I think that was the problem. Like, that was my first real love. I feel like we met when I was like 21. He was 28. We met in Santa Monica, I think. Was it Santa Monica?
On the promenade?
Maybe. I feel like, no, I can't remember. But we met on the beach anyway. And he hit on me while my mom was there. Like, my mom was visiting. And, like, I saw him because he was skating. Because I was way into, if you did not partake in, like, extreme sports, I didn't date you. Like, that's who I was at the time. Like, I would not date you if you didn't motocross, skateboard, rollerblade. If you didn't do any of this,
all of this is consistent. Like, based on what I've learned about like Audra's type, it's just like if PacSun were a guy,
I know.
That's Audra's man.
If you were not doing any of those things, I was like, oh, I'm fine. Get away from me. Get away from me. Like, what do? Nothing. Bye. Like, you don't want to fling yourself off of things, potentially harm yourself. I don't like you. Ooh. Is it too
much? Sorry. It is. I hate cold calls.
Like, you didn't tell me we're calling first, therefore.
Nope. Make an appointment.
Like, so he was all of that. He still does that now. Make an appointment.
He's calling again. Hold on a second.
I will hold. Listen, I know. I was very much like, I was just like, my husband is an aggressive rollerblader. Like, thank you. I was because here's the thing. I was Matt the Condor Hoffman, Dave Mira, RIP. Like, I was X Games. Like, you had to be playing X Games, or like into X Games or into hockey and like play hockey. Like, you couldn't just be into, you had to play hockey. Like, I had a long dream, like it would continue every night, about me and my affair with Eric Lindros. Okay, like, it was.
I don't know who that is.
Also, Peter Forsberg back in the day. Yeah, I was.
I don't know who that is either.
Eric Lindros was like, I don't know.
So what you're telling us is the movie Airborne was your sexual awakening, is what you're
telling us.
Thank you.
That is what happened. I was like, no, really what happened is like, I randomly was like changing channels. That's how I got into hockey. And like, I was randomly changing channels and like the X Games was on. And I was like, oh my God. And it was when Tony Hawk was doing the 720, I think. And it was like a big freaking fracking
That's a
deal.
big
And he
moment.
just, yes. And it was like, he was like,
Yeah.
in the get-go. And we're like, ah. So it was, I watched that and I was like super into it. And like, he
Oh
actually,
my
they were
God.
actually
Just the
kind of
phrase
protesting.
the X Games is like an instant mental time machine for me. The fucking X Games. Jesus Christy.
Yeah, like
Woo!
I was into it. Like I was all around. Like oh and like one of the things I'm trying to find because I'm trying to get myself a Christmas gift. I want the 2000. I think it's 2000 2001. I believe Stanley Cup. I want the whole thing because I had it on VHS, right? Because it was Ray Bork. And Ray Bork,
Oh, like the game. I thought you
yeah.
wanted the cup. I was just like, girl, that's expensive. How you gonna get that?
Like you can't. Like,
Buy it from the
sure
team for $80 million or something?
never sell it. Like that is they just added, the thing gets heavier and heavier. I have like weird hockey knowledge, but like that, like at the top is the original cup. And then they like all the shit down has been added. So this bitch gets heavier and heavier.
Yeah.
It just keeps
So
adding
it's just
rows.
the same thing. Okay. I always thought it was like, why is it upside down?
Because it was a cup. Like, you know what I mean? It was a cup.
Yeah.
Then,
it looks like an upside down giant chalice, but that makes sense. Okay.
So like that was such a big thing because Ray Bork played in Boston, played for the Bruins his entire career. Man is 40 some odd years old. Night, Yanni. And he gets traded to, and it's a good trade. Like Avalanche want him, Boston lets him go because they wanted him to have a run at the cup. He would almost get there, and like he just could never get the cup. He is traded, and that year it's like him, it's Rob Blake, it's Patrick Waugh, it's Peter Forsberg. This is a dream. All right,
These names mean nothing to me, girl. Like you're so geeked, and I love it. It's like it's so cute, but I'm like I don't know that man.
It was like Patrick Waugh, the goalie, often called Brick Waugh, because he would be the one that was like, it's done now. It is done. They are not scoring again. And he meant that, and they never did. Like when he was like, I'm sorry, like I screwed up, they're not scoring again, he would hold it together so that everybody else could fucking win. So this was like, Ray Bork won the Stanley Cup. The year he's transferred, and Boston, I'm going to tear up. Boston was cheering for him. Like his old city team was like cheering. Like they had signs up in Boston that was like, win the cup, Ray. I'm such a nerd. Crying.
You're like, geeking out, and we love to see it.
It was just
I love it when people have like just like super like esoteric interests that make them excited. Like I could just like watch you talk about this all day, even though I have no idea who these people are.
Listen, I was just for like, I cried. I loved it so much. And like my next door neighbor could hear me. Like he used to like come by and hang out. I don't know if he was actually into me or not, now that I think about it. Anyways, he came by and he ended up taking a picture for me.
I'll tell you guys a story of how infamously bad I am at figuring out when guys are into me after you finish, Audra.
No, like it was such a big deal. And like Joe Sakic was the team captain. And so the tradition is whenever you win the cup, you raise it up and ride around. Joe didn't even ride. He like grabbed the cup and he immediately handed it to Ray Bork. It was
Audra's having a moment, y'all. She's a good verklempt.
Oh, it was so beautiful.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I know, you talk.
I'll give you a topic.
I'm like,
ice cream is neither ice nor cream. Discuss.
I cannot believe it still like makes me this emotional every time. Because I remember that to this day. Like just Joe Sakic getting the cup and like immediately handing it to Ray Bork, and then like Ray like skating around and everybody's losing their shit because like he's gonna retire, you know what I mean? Because 40 is a long time to play hockey.
Oh man.
I'm like, I get weird. I'm like, I love hockey so much. I had, you don't even understand. Like,
I don't know how I didn't know you were into hockey.
I like, oh my God. I used to be like, then they went on strike and then I just kind of like fell out of it because like ADHD and interest. But like I used to like write out the brackets and like I still have it somewhere from that, like from that time. Like I would have like the brackets like written out and it would be like, and I would just like color code everything and put like for the playoffs, I would just like have the brackets together. Like, all right, who we want to win? Like it was amazing. Like they swept the Blues. Like there was so much stuff going on at the time. It was crazy. Like, but tell you,
and then the 2020 hindsight of the neighbor who was probably into you.
Right? I was like, oh, he was super cute too. Now I feel bad. I just never knew.
Yeah, I don't like get it when guys are hitting on me unless it's just like crazy aggressive and like there's no mistaking it. But like one of like my friends know this about me too. They're like, you're like really bad at reading signals. Like it's a known thing amongst my friends where I'll never forget. I was at some sort of like rap party for some show I was on, and there was this guy, and like we'd been talking a little bit, but there was kind of like a group of us, so it was like it worked out to be like 2 to 3 heterosexual pairings, but like I wasn't thinking about that. So then after the after party was the hotel lobby, and we got some bar, and we get a booth, and I'm sitting next to guy one, and like we're all sitting in this booth and talking, and guy one like has his hand on my knee and is like stroking like my leg like with his thumb like this.
Oh, he's doing the stroke.
And I'm like, this guy is so drunk. He doesn't even realize that's not his leg. Idiot. Like, this is how bad I am at reading. I was like, this is so embarrassing for him.
I thought I was bad, but no, you weren't.
No. And like, it's like one of like these stories that my friends tell. It's like, T.
Like, so much worse than I am.
You're an idiot. It's like, what a goofus. It's not even his leg.
He's going to feel so embarrassed.
Wait until he
tomorrow and realizes he was rubbing my leg and not his.
But that's classic me, where like I just don't get it. Like it doesn't occur to me that like that could be happening most of the time. And then when I like a guy, my strategy is to avoid being on the same side of the room as him. Oh. Very effective.
Mine is to avoid asking any questions that might lead to I'm potentially not interested. And so I'm just like,
do you like turtles?
That's me, period. Like that is exactly like you want to go look at the tadpoles in that little hole over there? That's pretty cool. We're gonna turn into frogs. Like,
not that little hole over there.
Like there's a little ditch over there with a bunch of tadpoles. You know, look at it.
They got a bunch of tadpoles over there. You want to go look at them?
They're gonna get feet soon. They're gonna get feet soon.
Oh my god!
Anytime I tried to like make the move, like I come in too hot is the problem. So I was like, I don't know what to do. So I'm like,
well,
I
made the first move a lot in my life. And what I learned from doing that is the type of man who is unwilling to make the first move is not the man for me. So, yeah.
But like, because like I have exactly like my two loves are my two soft spots, right? So it's like I work, obviously one of them, he's still in California doing his like thing, and he still does that to this day. Because he was a skate photographer and he also skated. He kind of looks like Tony Hawk, but like less Tony Hawk. Anyways, hairier Tony Hawk. That's what hairier Greek Tony Hawk. Okay. And then the other one, you know, New York is like my biggest soft spot since then. So it's like I have to like.
So we've softened on New York because the policy was not that he was a soft spot last time I talked about.
No, he is a soft spot, but I'm still being like, no, thank you. I am fine by myself because if you can't love me the way I need to be loved, if I can't make you.
He was doing the typical like breadcrumbing.
Yeah.
He was like coming on strong, and then as soon as you start to like lower that guard, he's just like, just kidding, I'm unavailable.
Yeah.
Guys love to do that.
Wait, the fact that you did that and it wasn't actually in like slow-mo, like I want like people need to bookmark that moment
because this happens to me a lot. Like I deal with this a lot where I think guys want to like one up me or something because like I'm a pretty chill person and I believe in myself, and guys are just like, I'm gonna do something about that.
I know.
You know what I mean? So they want to like humble me or some shit. So then as soon as it's like, oh, maybe he's for real, like maybe I can actually like let my guard down a bit, they're like, gotcha, bitch. And I'm like, you tricked me again. Yeah. So now I'm just like, those walls stay up, baby.
I'm trying
not to be that way because like I am trying to actually like find a romantic partner, but it's difficult, especially in these online dating streets, because ghosting, it's like ghost or be ghosted.
And also I'm not good at flirting. This is the other thing. So like I went to a Whataburger drive-through. This is weeks ago, right? And I see this girl and she's doing the drive-through window, and I'm like like that's how I flirt. And like I guess she picked up on it finally, but it was too late and I was already too embarrassed. I was like, I guess my weird grin didn't let you know that like, cause like just I grin. Like my form of flirting is being like like if my arms go up, I'm like, hey, like that is.
Oh, I thought you were like miming showing your titties. Like, oops, my titties. Want to go out?
Like my arms go up with the smile. I'm like, like that's my flirting style.
I think my game has definitely improved. I just need to. Before I can like activate game mode, I need to be confident that there's actually an attraction there, because like, as we've established, I'm not good at like figuring that out. So it needs to be like clear, which is in one way, that's how dating apps have helped me. Cause I'm just like, well, we matched. So I know you're into me. So like once that's done, then I'm able to kind of like be in my confidence. And like, I think I actually am like pretty smooth, to be honest with you, because I have like no investment emotionally in people for a very long time. So like, I think it's easy to just kind of like keep my cool and be like, this is going nowhere. I'm going to say whatever.
So here's the thing. I feel like I used to be pretty smooth, but like not really.
Yeah, I feel like you have it in there.
I used to like do a thing because I like girls with glasses, right? And so like I was pretty good.
She's all like, that acts 1 and 2, but not 3.
Thank you. Don't take the glasses off, girl.
Keep the glasses on and keep the ponytail.
Thank you. I'm like, are you a nerd? Well, hello.
Yeah.
And I'd be like super smooth and be like, oh yeah, like, and then like she would be like, and I'm like, I was like, and we'd just be like, we play it back and forth, and I'd be like, oh yeah, girls like you with glasses, it's like super cute. Like I'd kiss you if you wanted me to. And she'd be like, oh, you want to kiss me? I'm like, yes, I want to kiss you. She'd be like, okay. And I'm like, you know, like a fucking monster. Like, and I'm like, how do I do that? And then like the second I'm like, I think it's like bar setting gives me confidence. Like I'm a bad bitch in the bar, but like out in the real world, I'm like, like no.
Listen, The social lubricant of alcohol is never to be underestimated. I'm with you on that. But yeah, I think once like mutual attraction is established, it's just like I again, Samantha mode activated for me. Like I never wanted to be a Samantha, by the way, but that's the way my life has turned out. Because like I am the one where the world guy be like, I don't know, I just really want to kiss you right now. I'm just like, well, what are you gonna do about it? Like I've literally done this to guys. And they're like, humana, and then it's like, you know, then it's on.
I don't feel like because like Charlotte really wanted to have like a husband and kids, so I'm not like really Charlotte, but like I guess in the pursuit of love, I'm Charlotte. I don't know.
You're more tender than a Samantha.
Yes.
Because you need that mental stimulation. Samantha was just like, are your balls shaved? Great.
Yeah. I didn't really like that.
I like some grooming. Like I don't want like an
grooming, but I don't want it like naked. That's weird.
You'd be surprised how many guys in LA are like fully shaved. Like
yeah, I wouldn't.
Like in LA, I'm just like, wow, this is like frequent.
It is. I hear razor burn.
I think they think it makes their unit look more imposing. So I think that might be part of it.
It looks like the car.
It's also just weird, like
duo. So
like groom and trim. Yeah. I don't need everything gone. Like you're a grown ass man.
El Boogie, I'm glad you're chatting because you're like spitting fire. I'm enjoying it. No, like Anne Marie said for some reason I am more confident
out behind you.
Listen, he will literally like that's why I told you he's gonna like
look at him. Look at his mouth.
Like then he just like lays out like an old man. Like every time he'll while out for like 30 minutes or so, and then he slowly starts realizing like I'm not gonna be finished. So then he kind of wanders around over here. He has this little bone that he like chews. He chewed that for a little bit, and then he like finally gets up on the bed. He does a few circles, and then he's like, he's like
I just can't. Like he is knocked out.
This is a regular occurrence. Like we do. This is how I live my life. Like I live it in spurts.
And Ray, I mean, she was perched on the armrest of the couch, so she just woke up from her nap under my desk. Yeah, you need a haircut, Ray. It's getting a little
so cute though. But she's judging us. I feel it. Oh, she got you. She's like,
yeah.
She's like, I noticed that you.
She always wants to lick. But like the paws are getting like positively Whovillian again. Like this is like the measure. When she looks like she's back in Whoville, this is so backwards. I am so disoriented.
I hate it when it's backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, but she's
like they get very Whoville. So it's time for a haircut. I do it myself, so it's like it's easy enough to do. I just have to decide to do it. She's not a huge fan of getting bangs.
Oh, quills. They have been. There was a whole
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are.
Do you remember
Most
that
time shot out here in LA and the Valley?
Do you not remember the time period? Like, was it what? I feel like it was like 2 years ago, where dudes were just like spitting into girls' mouths because of that
has happened to me, Audra, and I'm like. I did not consent. That has been done to me. I didn't know. No warning, no consent. And I'm like,
he just
forever unclean.
He just to it.
Forever unclean.
It's
disgusting.
I would not survive. Like, first of all, not only would I not survive it, but neither would they. They would not survive it. I would be
just Lorena Bobbitt.
I am squeezing. No, because it was a thing. Because
I was shocked.
There was a whole.
I didn't realize that's why that happened.
Yeah, that
makes sense. That checks because I don't watch prawn, not because I have any judgment on it. I just don't think about it. I literally don't because I also don't handle my own business though, Audra. It's sort of like I'm either I'm either doing it like with a partner or I'm just like fucking out here in these streets, nothing.
No.
It's just not for me.
What?
I need to vibe with somebody physically.
You can vibe with a vibe.
That's a good one.
From hell.
That's a good one. But Quill's pen, I would say guys are absolutely not just with the fully shaved, but the spitting in the mouth. I was just like, what is happening? Like when I was flabbergasted.
All the flippity flopping, and you're like, I don't like any. Like, why are we moving? Why?
Nope. You see, I have a fucking like arsenal of like dental care in my bathroom. You think I want that? I'm very particular about my orifices.
Thank you. Like I think that like I don't like all of the like flipping and the flopping and the moving and the maneuvering. Like, can you please like, here's the thing. When I'm handling my own business, it is over very quickly. And I don't
have covered this at length.
Yeah, but I don't have to deal with the awkward.
Audra is efficient at getting where she needs to go. And I'm honestly jealous of that because when it's me and just me, I never get where I need to go. Like I am only able to get there vis-a-vis a gentleman. And that is a lot of hit and miss because it's not every gentleman. Like most of them like can't, but you find the right one. It's just like, hey.
But don't get stigmatized.
That's my problem because I do.
I think everybody does.
Like here's the deal, like even with this one right now, Mr. X, this one, he like I have a lot of like I don't know about this thing with him, right? But the penetration, strong 8 first outing, and the first outing, it's like. No, it was going to be bad because you got to like figure each other out. You got to figure out what each other likes, each other's rhythms, like how each of you grew. So like, I just assumed the first outing with the sex is going to be trash. Yeah. No, strong 8. And I was just like, marry me.
Yeah, see, like, here's the thing, like, New York is really good. But then
I remember
like New York didn't feel the same about me. Like my attachment started to die. So like the whole thing just started to not be good.
As it should. As it should.
Yeah.
Because like you should never give a man or any partner more than they're giving you.
Yeah.
If they're
like, I was like, I don't think he loves me. So I was like,
if they're being aloof and unresponsive and you feel like you're putting yourself out there and you constantly are questioning how they feel about you, leave.
Yeah.
You should be questioning how you feel about someone.
Yeah. So like
how they feel about you, more importantly, how they feel about you.
Well, and then like they kind of recently showed back up, like not like anyways, there was a thing. So and
we talked about the many ways that he has stirred shit up recently.
Listen, New York be it's part of it. Like Leos are so annoying, and I think that I just need to set him on fire. Just kidding. Allegedly, I'm not going to do that. That's not for all legal purposes.
Yes, he, I believe, if I remember correctly, has the same exact birthday as my best friend, August 2nd.
Yes, and this year
I got a fucking memory of an elephant.
Didn't wish him a happy birthday. I was like,
good for you. Yeah. So he is exactly 6 months apart from me. Because I'm February 2nd, because my best friend and I are to the year exactly 6 months apart. And I get along great with Leos. I don't think I've ever dated one.
You should not date a Leo.
But I think they're good for Aquarians. Like, I think Leos are one of our best matches. So Mr. X right now is not a Leo. He's actually a Scorpio. And my longest relationship ever is also with a Scorpio whose birthday is literally 2 days after this guy. I'm like,
but like,
they couldn't be more different. They also couldn't be more different. Like, I feel like I understand the similarities vis-a-vis the star sign itself, but in terms of like what they are like in the moment, it's like, y'all couldn't be more different. This is wild.
Well, it's like, I think part of it is like, so here's me. I have Aries, I have Taurus, I have Scorpio, and I have Leo. I think Leo is in my Mars. So like,
your chart is trash.
And that's why sometimes I'm like, I should probably just be
the worst ones.
I have all of the like rowdiest possible, signs, and they're like all, and I'm like, well, I'll just go over here in the corner of single.
Yeah. No wonder you're neurodivergent. It ain't your fault.
Thank you. This wasn't, I didn't make this happen. Like, it just, all of this got together. I'm like, could you, yes, hi, I love this pasta. Can you cook it with the red and green peppers? But take them out of my food before you serve it to me. Thank you. I want the flavor. I don't want the peppers, actually. I don't want to eat them. Unless I'm having a salad, in which case I like red peppers, not green. Those don't taste good. Like, this is my life.
Yeah.
My life is spent like this.
Green peppers are the other peppers that haven't ripened yet, by the way.
Oh,
that's all that is. It's like baby carrots don't exist. Those are carrots that were deformed and then they ground them down to be those things. They're like, we can't sell this carrot. Let's change it. Let's change it up. Ooh, Pisces and Aries. Well, those signs are back to back, are they not? Because Pisces is March, late February to March, and then Aries is late March to early April. Aries, it's a no for me, dog. Never. Because I got Aries in my immediate family, and I'm like, that's not going to work. Like, I've never, I was briefly hooking up with an Aries, and I was just like, I already know this is going nowhere. Because like,
no, thank you, I'm good.
I
Let
can't.
me live my life. It's my life.
And I know a lot of guys are like triggered when women start talking about that shit, but I feel like that shit's honestly pretty real because people's personalities can differ, but there are certain core behaviors and traits where it's just like, I can't fuck with that.
Yeah. Because like my sun is in Taurus, obviously, Moon, Scorpio, Mars, Leo, Mercury, Aries.
Let me get mine.
Venus, Gemini, rising Virgo.
Well, I mean, it's not all bad, but you have a lot of strong signs because I feel like there's a lot of signs that everyone is kind of like, woo, and like Scorpio is one of them. Gemini is one of them. I would even say Aries is one of them. Aquarius, I feel like most people don't really have opinions on Aquarians unless you're one of them or you've dated one. Like a lot of Aquarians are one of those signs where people are just like, I don't know what that's about. Or like Libras or in other words, like people are like, I don't know, unless you're Pisces as well. So I think Taurus is probably up there with one of the more notorious signs, Leos.
Yeah, you know what's funny about Taurus is like they'll always be like Taurus and Taurus is a perfect match. It's not, and here's why. Because they say it all and like everything. Because two Taurus together can get complacent and lazy and like not do anything, and like that's typically what's going to happen with most Taurus and Taurus pairings. Like you're both going to be like, this is comfy. Let's just keep.
I yearn to date another Aquarius because I don't feel that anyone really, because again, we're not one of the like controversial signs. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel like people like know what we're like or understand us very well, except us. And I feel like I would do really well with another Aquarius because we would understand that we both need space, we need quiet, we need time to understand. And like the way we love is also not like the stereotypical, like, fiery, passionate, kind of love. Like our love is like very chill. Like I want to look in your eyes and feel like I found my home. Like that's love to me. Like I don't want to be all like crazy, like ripping I mean, there's a time and a place to be ripping each other's clothes off. Don't get me wrong, but like consistent, long lasting love like doesn't look like that to me. And I think that's a very Aquarian thing. It's just like, no, I want to look at you and feel completely calm and secure. And like we got each other's backs and like, you know what I mean? It's a different way of looking at things. And I don't think a lot of people get that.
Yeah. I mean,
so smart.
Elena.
my son is Aquarius and I knew I had Taurus. I'm Taurus ascendant. Um,
Ah.
yeah, I've told you I knew I had Taurus in my chart, but like I don't really like fully understand what like ascendant and moon and all that means. Libra moon, like my mom is a Libra, so I kind of like, well,
Oh,
that's
you
why I'm
like to
always
keep
worrying
peace.
about things.
You
I
like to
do.
keep the peace.
I do. I do. That's very true. So that helps me understand shit. But I also have like Scorpio and Saturn, and I'm just like, yeah, like that's my road rage.
Well, so here's the thing. This is why I tell people, I'm like, do not piss me off to the point where I go scorched earth on your ass. Because when that happens,
Yes.
I'm burning it all down. I'm going to burn down you.
Yes.
I'm going to burn down your mama. I'm going to burn down your mama's friends. I'm going to burn down your cousins. I'm going to, like, your whole family tree. I am setting it on fire.
I'm with you on that. And you know what? I think here's the difference, because that's not my star sign. Like that is the conclusion, but it takes me a very long time to get there, because Aquarians, we want to analyze things ad nauseum. We will analyze things from every possible angle so that we feel confident in our decision, because once we make the decision, Taurus coming in, I will not be moved.
Yeah.
So once I've been like, okay, there's no other way to look at this. Like this person betrayed me or they did whatever. My mind is made up. It is over, Johnny. Like you ain't gonna see me no more. Because and that's where the Taurus comes in, because it's just like I get very like bullheaded about it. It's just like my mind is made up and I will not be moved.
But also, like, I have
see, there you go, Fila. We can usually identify each other, because again, we're not a sign that people talk about a lot. Like everyone talks about like Geminis or whatever. Aquarians, it's like aqua recognize aqua.
You know what cracks me up is how Taurus people get so mad every time like the things relate to them, like eating and sleeping. But like I haven't met a Taurus who doesn't eat and sleep. Like the way a Taurus can just hit nap life is unbelievable. I like anytime I run into somebody who naps a lot, I just like I've started just being like, "Are you a Taurus?" And then like, "How did you know?" And like, I it's the snacks and the naps, babes. Like that's how I know. Like I noticed you had all these snacks, and also you nap. That is we're this of all signs. We're the sign
nap recognize nap.
Going to eat food and be like, "That was delicious." Like the amount of times
Apple said there's an app for that. Taurus said there's a nap for that.
There really is. Because like I always try to get mad at it too, and like literally every time I'm doing it, like on TikTok, they're like Taurus eating and like da da da. I'm like, that's fun.
You don't know me.
Like my feelings get hurt. Listen, Allie, I guarantee you that your mom falls asleep and doesn't know it. And then like just continues doing things like she didn't fall asleep. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But like yes, snacks and naps would be the greatest musical duo. Like I love it. Like I have to sleep. So
it'll be
more.
This generation's Hall and Oates.
Right? I was about to sing a song. I was like,
private eyes are watching you.
That's exactly what I was about to sing. And I was like,
private eyes are watching you. Yes. I can't go for that. No. Like, no can do.
And like they had like, didn't at one point they have like kind of like mini mullets? I feel like they had like mini mullets.
The whole point, Audra, the whole time.
It's just like all mullets all the time.
It was sort of like a sport mullet. It was like for the man on the go who didn't have a lot of time for maintenance, but he's just like, I still want my party in the back.
No.
I always got a little time to party.
Oh my gosh. Snacks and naps are watching you.
Private eyes are taking naps, eating snacks, taking naps, eating snacks.
Listen, I feel like I've told this story before. One time this was when I was young. I was in my 20s, and I was like, I went to bed like smash hammered, right? And I wake up and
Speaking
I'm like,
of, I need another refill, but keep
so do
talking.
I. Like, we'll be back. We're on a quick break. We're gonna get.
Let's take a quick break and then put something so you don't forget what story you're about to tell in the chat, or someone remind us when we get back. You were young and you were about to take a nap. I think you said.
And napping. So, and I was yes. So we'll be right back.
All right. Did I win? I'm back first. I beat her. I can't highlight comments because I'm not logged into StreamYard right now, although Audra and Emily were kind enough to share their account with me. I'm not logged in, so I'm technically in here as a guest. So I'm not able to actually highlight y'all's comments. But y'all, y'all talking about whether Burger King delivers? Y'all better. Have snacks, but I could nap. I feel that way at all times, but I'm weirdly enough not a big napper. I rarely nap, but I always feel like I want to nap. I don't know if that's a T thing or an Aquarius thing, like the napping is a Taurus thing. I don't know. It's an interesting question. Actually, no, it's not. That's a boring question. I take that back. Rescinded. Yeah, I'm getting pretty turned up. I don't mind telling you. So hopefully this is my last major activity of the night, because anything else I do today, I'm going to be writing some apologies tomorrow, I feel. Yes, Rami, doesn't having to wait for fast food defeat the point of fast food? I could not agree more. Like, isn't the point that like you get it quickly? If you're waiting 40 minutes for Burger King to be delivered, I feel like it kind of defeats the point. Okay, Angie, so you can't sleep at night if you nap. That might fuck me up. What fucks me up more than that is just having caffeine. I'm very caffeine sensitive. But napping, it's just, I just can't really wind my brain down enough during the day to be able to nap. There she is.
I was struggling.
Naps.
Yes, I think BK has that one weird burger.
I think they have the Impossible.
I had
the Impossible Burger. That's the one everyone's talking about.
Making fun of like kind of that vegan thing where like we're gonna make it bleed. I don't have to.
Isn't that weird?
I think it's weird. I do think that it's weird.
I've always felt that way. As a person who was vegan for a year of my life, I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm not gonna just try to do like vegan versions of the shit I already ate before. Like, to me, it should be like, if you're gonna be vegan. Like, don't just eat like not dogs and fucking like fake meat that bleeds. You know what I mean? Like, that's just weird to me. So,
thank you. Emily even said it's super weird to me the way vegans replicate meat.
Yes.
There's something very creepy about it. Like, I don't get it. I'm like, if you're gonna be vegan, like, and I have zero problems with it.
Isn't the whole point to not continue that mindset?
Yeah.
To not feel like you need meat or a meat substitute. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah. I
was just eating like vegetables, and I was eating plants. Like, I wasn't eating plants that were fucking Build-A-Bear into being hot dogs and shit.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't. That's
like
just
I
odd to
eat
me.
turkey burger because
Unfortunately, I
it's
just
turkey burger. Like
right.
because I don't eat red meat, but like veggie burgers, like there's a black bean burger that I do, like if it's done right, I really like a good black bean burger. That's actually quite delicious. But I feel like
it's not
weird.
pretending to be meat. That's like, this is black beans and we are putting it on a bun for you. If you're trying to make vegetables bleed, you're getting into a very weird territory to me.
It's very weird.
Aren't you vegan? Like, why do you want anything that bleeds? Isn't the whole point? Right. And like, I guess people go vegan for different reasons, because some people don't care about, animal rights or anything. Some people go vegan because they just don't want like the hormones or the whatever. But fundamentally, it seems at odds to me with the ideals of veganism to be like, well, I still want my food to bleed. Like, that's just weird.
It's a weird sensation. Oh shit, I forgot. Okay. Young and
napping.
Okay. So I was young,
sleepy.
And I had gotten pretty smash hammered the night before. And I get up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm starving. And this is when I still ate at Chick-fil-A. So I'm like, let me go to Chick-fil-A. And as I'm like pulling into the Chick-fil-A, I'm like, I think I'm still drunk. Like I didn't realize it because it wasn't that far from my house. And then it's like, as I'm pulling in, I'm just like, whoop, and I'm like, oh, I might still be a little bit drunk. So I order like 2 breakfasts for myself, obviously. And then I get home. I'm married at this point in time. My husband still asleep. And I'm sitting in our driveway, just like noshing on Chick-fil-A. I guess at some point I passed out. And what woke me up is that I was like, I still had food to chew.
You still have food in your mouth.
I had food in my mouth.
Your body did a light Heimlich on yourself to be like finish eating that.
Chew this.
Bitch, wake up.
And I was like, oh, let me get in the house. And the thing was, this is like
finish that tot.
I know. I had like chicken in like the corner of my mouth. I'm like,
that's the worst, because like if they were open for breakfast, then like you were drunk from last night. And that happened to me. That's when I was just like, when I was still in my 20s, there were so many times where I was driving to work in the morning. It's just like, if I get a DUI driving to work, I am the biggest piece of shit on the planet.
Thank you.
Because like why? I partied. And like there were so many times where like, you've been sleeping for however many hours, just like, all right, I gotta go to work. And then you're driving just like, I am not safe to drive right now. Like it's been however many hours, but you just drank that much the night before.
Because like, so
girl,
because like drunk driving in Texas is
you went to USC, you know how we do.
Yeah. You did not like going to the 9-0, lining up your 99-cent shots and like,
girl. So like that behavior continued for the first couple of years out of school, where I was still like partying like that and working full time.
I know.
I was just like,
how was it possible? Like I am always amazed that I'm still alive today because of how I behaved when I was younger. Because I was like, I was not supposed to make it. Yes.
Which is honestly why I am so crazy strict about like not drinking and driving even a little bit now, because just like I feel like if you have a certain allotment of chances to like not hurt yourself or anyone else doing that, like I used on mine, because there were so many times, again, like driving to work, I've been sleeping 4 hours max. And I'm like, all right, that's enough time. And then I'm like, I'm not safe to drive right now, but I got to go to work.
Yeah. I mean, and like so drunk driving in Texas is fairly bad. And a lot of it is because they refuse to have public transportation. So like in the DFW area, right? Like people are like, oh, just get an Uber. And it's like, that is like $40. Like it could be $40 round trip.
That's
right? So, like,
what I will earn for this entire day. So it's kind of a net loss.
So so people go from like Arlington to Fort Worth, for instance. People would drive to Fort Worth. And the thing is, it's like, okay, well, if you're going out on like a Saturday night, you're like, ugh. Or like even when you were in your 20s, you're going out on a Sunday night, you couldn't leave your car overnight because the next day it was you had to pay to get out of the garage, right? So even if you were trying to be safe and you had a sober driver and then like they took you home, you would have to find somebody who could take you on Monday to pick up your car in Fort Worth, which is about a 30-minute drive. So you like it, and everything's like that. A cab ride, and this was like this was before Uber, so a cab ride was infinitely more expensive. So it was just like this thing where basically what people would do was like go out to Fort Worth or Dallas and get like a little buzz on, and then drive back to Arlington and like just get smashed by their house and then take their two turns. So like that's the thing, and that's the problem with this area, is like none of the areas want to allow public transportation, like no buses and like taxis really aren't a thing here. Like, yes, there are taxis, but it's not like, New York, big cities like that have regular we don't have like regular taxi service out here. There's just like a lot of stuff that we
have in LA too. I mean, I've done it a couple of times in my life. Like where I'm just like, I just hailed a cab in LA, but I was on like Sunset Boulevard at like midnight. So like they know to be out there, like there's gonna be some drunk ass bitch who's just like, I lost my phone, I can't Uber. So that was but
I Ubered out to Fort Worth once, and then I ended up calling like a one-time hookup that I used to work with, and I was like, because I knew that he lived in Fort Worth, and I was like, yo, can you come pick me up? Take me to my house. He was like, yeah. He was actually a good guy. He was like 10 years younger than me, but he was actually a good guy. So he was like, yeah. And he like picked me up and took me back home, and everything was super chill. I was like, thanks, dude. Because like I wanted to go out, but it's just like that's why a lot of people, once you get past a certain age here, you just kind of stop going out because it's too much. Because you have to like, the logistics of doing it in a way where you're not going to drunk drive is so much that you're like, just fucking forget it.
That is very much a thing here in LA. Like it's not as vast as Texas, but LA is way more vast than I think people realize, because people hear like, LA, and then there'll be, and this is partially the problem, or I should say the fault of people who live here. We're like, oh, I'm from LA. And you're like, where? And they're like, Altadena. And I'm like, no, I'm from LA. Like that, I've never even been there. I've lived out here since I'm 17 years old. I've literally never even been, like, that's not LA, bro. Like, you fucking lying. Why are you fucking lying?
That would make me sick.
And there's so many areas like that.
And they were like, I'm in LA. I'm like, I am in LA proper, bitch. You are not in LA. Where are you on Wilshire?
I am in LA, as in like I'm close to the middle of the fucking pin or whatever. If you Google LA, it's not far from where I live when that little red pin shows up.
Like Los Angeles, California.
And then I'm like, oh, where? Claremont? And I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
I don't Claremont. Yeah, so LA is vast, and then people count so many outlying cities that are not LA, and it becomes very confusing.
It does, like, because like that's what you call like DFW, and there's like Dallas, Fort Worth, and like there's all of these cities encompassed in it, and it's one.
That's also the airport code, is it not?
Yeah, and like people. But I would get annoyed because he was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be in Dallas. We should hang out, and I'm like, no, where are you going to be? Because if you're going to tell me Plano, I'm not going to go see you. That's an hour. That's an hour drive for me to go see you and hang out. And you're like, we can have wine. I'm like, no, you can have wine, and I can sit there and be uncomfortable. Like everything. Yeah. It's just people do not realize how far things are here and how like long it like, and they're still in the DFW area. Like Plano is still here, but like depending on where you are, depends on how long it's going to take to get there. And it's just like, it's always, everything is so like that. And
I mean, like, out here, like if you want me to meet you anywhere east of downtown LA, I am officially camping. Like that's far. That you're past downtown? That's far.
Oh,
Jesus Christie.
Here's the thing. Allegedly, the way that you do
no one should drink and drive anywhere. That's the fucking moral of this story.
No one should. And the thing of it is, if they weren't so, we didn't want desirables in our town, then you would just have access to good public transportation and you wouldn't have to do that. Like, one of the reasons I moved where I moved was because you could like walk to places, and you can walk and get drunk and then walk home if you wanted to do such a thing, and be like, all right. And like here, even, listen, I know we're all ACAB, but like the police here will like drive you home on their golf cart. And I'm like, listen, I'm for that, because honestly, I'm already tired. I'm too old to be this drunk. You know, like that's what I'm like. I'm too old to be this drunk.
Oh, girl, that thought. Like, I don't know what it was about like turning 30, but like that thought didn't enter my mind before 30. And now I have it all the time. I'm just like, I'm too old to be this drunk.
But what really messed me up is like when I was younger, I could not puke and rally. Like everybody else would puke and rally and do their thing.
I'm that girl.
But like
girl. I remember the first time I ever drank a 40, like I was puking halfway through that 40. Old English 800 for anyone who's interested.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
Puked, finished my 40, and then had some more drinks afterward. I was just like, I'm here to stay. It was ridiculous.
See, like
this is at USC. This is at USC partying on Orchard. I remember.
Oh no.
Yeah. You
would just always be going to these random ass houses.
Do you remember the Blue House?
I think so.
I lived there.
Wait, you lived in that?
I lived in the Blue House. Yeah, it was me and 7 guys. I didn't fuck any of them, but I could have.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was basically a co-ed frat house. No. It was me and my friend Shannon. It was 2 girls and then the rest guys. But like we were like that girl. It's just like all my friends are guys. I'm just not like other girls. Like we were
girls are so much.
We were that girl. We were both that girl, and then we found each other, and then we literally were that girl because we were living in a house full of guys, and it was just like party. Let's get a keg. It was ridiculous. I was just like, where did my life take this turn? I had a lot of fun, but yeah, the Blue House, which is, I believe it's now been painted brown. I lived there.
See, I never even did a keg stand because I knew that wasn't for me. I knew it wasn't for me. So
it doesn't even make sense. Keg stands are so dumb.
Like, I understand.
It's
Why would you
easier to drink upside down?
It's not.
Like, gravity is working against you. Why?
Like, you're obviously, and it's cold. Right, like it's cold beer that you're trying to funnel into your throat, and that's why everybody finishes. They get off, they're like, whoop, like,
yeah, it doesn't make sense. Funneling, fine, whatever. Shotgunning, fine, but like keg stands never made sense.
They never did, and I never did.
And why do we count? It's just like 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's so like, why are we counting how? Like, I don't.
What? Like, that's not even a second. Like, this is not a unit of measurement because you're counting too fast for it to even be a second. So everyone's just like chanting numbers.
Yeah, and they were like,
so dumb.
And then you get down, you're like, and then like, because the thing is,
and then you vomit immediately.
It all like smashes down into your gut. Like an exorcist vomit. Like it's horrible. And you're like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Oh, college was so great.
Listen, like Lambda Chi. We used to party at Lambda Chi all the time.
Lambda Chi. This is very homophobic, but the slur or nickname for that house was Lambda Chi Ramda Guy.
Yeah, we used to. Yeah, they called it Ramda Guy.
Yeah,
because like, but
apparently they were gay.
Well, Scotty, my first big crush. I liked
the Greek.
No, that was my love. But Scotty was my first big crush. And
okay, got
Scotty I was like, I like you. He's like, yeah, I'm glad we're friends. And I was like, well, it was better later because he was actually gay and he was the guy.
You made the record scratching sound in his face, like Eric.
So like I stood there like this, and then I proceeded to like just drown myself in Bacardi.
Raise your arms for no reason.
I'd probably like, hi, Scotty. But he like later it was fine because I was like, oh, he's gay. So it's like, and he was like actually gay. Like he said he was gay, and it's fine. But the thing was, I didn't understand that he was gay. Like I didn't know he was gay at that time, and he was like, I just want to be friends, and I was like, oh. So like I went and like pounded this Bacardi. Gin and rum.
Bacardi.
Nobody's
Wait,
friend.
you pounded Bacardi, so you had gin before and then you pounded Bacardi?
Listen, it was college. So what happened is I was very upset.
Fair.
And I went upstairs.
I do remember I do remember people using milk as a mixer, and I'm like, college was terrible, honestly.
And I left
like,
that. And
just
then,
like that alone.
I can't remember which frat house it was, but they have a volleyball court, which I promptly, like a beach volleyball court. Yes.
I feel like that was Phi Psi.
I feel like you were correct because I just all of it. And then that was
I remember.
Who I just randomly started to look up because I was telling the story about how Costas was this basketball player and he lived in the same like on campus, off campus apartments as me. And he and like I feel like the other guy's name, like the white guy's name was Luke, and Costas was Greek. Apparently I need to marry a Greek person. But like
Kostas is a very Greek name.
Yes. And because it's Konstantinos. And he
there you go with a K
party. And I am like and like he ends up carrying me. Him and Luke end up like trading off on like carrying me all because you know how fucking far that was for like to the like USC apartments. It was far.
Yes.
So they were trading off on carrying me back and forth.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Kimberly, yes, milk is not a mixer. That's why I was just like, y'all too wild for me. That night when they were like, all we have is vodka and milk, I was just like, I'll have the vodka. Like that. I've never had a glass of milk in my life because it's fucking disgusting. So
me neither.
That wasn't me, girl. But yeah, I'm just trying to like communicate just how disgusting college was. Carry on, Audra.
No, it was college was just like this place where you were doing things that were so gross. And like Costa was carrying me and I'm just like I felt ugly. And he's like, you're not ugly. You just drink too much. And he was like, I think he had a crush on me and I didn't realize it. Like
that's twice now. You've told stories that are just like, oh my God.
See the way that he looked at me, and he looked at me like I was like a precious gem, and I missed it. He was like 6'8", like he was ridiculously tall, and he like him and Luke were just like because they had to get special beds for them.
Yeah,
they're 6'8".
That's like, yeah,
they're both on the basketball team.
That's too tall for a Cal King, which is what I have.
Yeah,
because
and they like had to like get them like these things, and they both on the basketball team, and I'm just never gonna forget them like trading off, like carrying my dead weight drunk ass because I'm just like,
I'm ugly.
I know it's so ugly. Why do you?
That just seems like something out of like a sad Judd Apatow movie. Just like this beautiful woman who drank too much being carried by two Adonises. Like, I'm ugly. Where are we?
I don't know why my life is sometimes a romantic comedy, but like
it really is.
Carrying me around, I'm like, yeah. And like he like carried me and like got and like the fun thing was when they got me and my roommate Deanna was like, oh my gosh, what is it? Oh, she just drank too much and like put me in the bed, and I was like, Serenity knows what's up. Don't look at me. when you get like so sweaty, you're like, oh, like, but it's like now, like, here's the good thing about like when you hit your 30s and 40s, the good thing is when you feel like you're like, I'm gonna be sick, and you like just go and you like handle your business, and you just like come back, and you're like.
I will say, as someone who was on the USC drinking team, which never existed, I've always had that ability. Like, I can give you a 5-minute warning. So, like, when I was at USC, like, Uber wasn't really a thing. It was like we would use like Campus Cruiser or just friends who were just like, I'm not drinking tonight. Remember Campus Cruiser? So I'd be like, I'm going to throw up in under 5 minutes. So you can pull over now and wait, or I can give you a 2-minute warning. Like, I was like that precise. I have never thrown up in anyone's car or on a person ever, because I'm just like, it's about to happen. This is how much time you have. Like, I've always been very in touch with that.
By accident. Well, apple cider vinegar, because I had a YI in the taco business, and everybody was like hyping up apple cider vinegar. Guess what? First of all, worse. You have to eat food. Second, you can't drink. And I should have known that. I didn't. And I was like,
most importantly,
so I
can't keep drinking.
Because I was like broke. I was getting divorced. I didn't have a lot of money for food. And I like, it wasn't even that. It was just that like I was working nights and I was trying to like go out and do something. So when I was like, I'm pulling into the like Taco Bueno drive-thru. I'm like, I was like, oh, I thought I was gonna throw.
Taco's not so bueno. Taco's not so bueno
eat,
tonight.
Like I didn't even like roll to order. I puked all over the side of it. I was like, oh my God, I'm a monster. So like I learned, but like the thing is, I was that way too. Like I was on like the lawn of one frat, and my friends were like at this point I was so drunk I was sitting in like a puddle like outside. I'm just like sitting there. And it was like, you're sitting in a puddle. I'm like, oh, fine. And they're like, and then they like just took it upon themselves to like lift me up out of the puddle, and I was like, you just should have left me there. It's fine. Okay. And the thing was, I didn't want to stop there. I told my friend that I was like, can we just not stop here, because like I don't feel good, like. And she insisted, and so I was just like, and I just like kind of sat down, and I was like, things are going bad. And she was like, okay, let's go, because I think she was hooking up with some guy. She's like, okay, let's go. And I was like, all right. And I was like, and I held my hand out like this. I was like, all right. And just like let it rip. I'm like, please hold. And then like I stopped. And I was like, and then I was like, all right, let's go.
I have vomited from drinking so many times in my life, but almost all of them are like before turning 30. Like after 30, I feel like you get a better handle on like when you are in the danger zone. I'm not going to say it has never happened after 30, but like it's rare, and it's just like, girl, you knew what you was doing. So like nowadays, you have to be the most charismatic, persuasive person in the world to get me to take a shot. Like I don't do shots at all. Like that's a fucking death knell. So if I'm doing a shot, you have like Svengali'd me, because I know better than that. And then it's also just like pacing and combinations, because you always hear, beer before liquor, never sicker, liquor before beer, you're free and clear. There's various versions of this.
I know that is true.
But for me, like I can drink anything in any order as long as I just don't drink too much. Like honestly, it doesn't matter. Like I just don't drink to the point of being sick.
Because like the only time it messes you up in your 30s and 40s is like kind of like throwback parties or whatever, where you're like getting back in your groove of like when you were young. You're like, oh shit, and then you're just like having too much fun, and then you're like drinking too much, and you're like, I'm not young. And it's going bad.
For me, it's usually a vacation.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, and then I'm in my hotel bathroom hugging the porcelain throne.
Oh my God. That is, and you really are like, I hate to quote this man, but like you really are like, thank you, toilet, for being so cool.
You're the only one who understands me.
Like you're just in there. I got to the point where I would just like, if I knew I was like, I think I'm gonna throw up, I would just like, grab a pillow, just like take it into the bathroom, just be like, oh.
I'm gonna be in here for a while. This is my office. This is my office now.
Yes. Like, let me just be prepared because I knew. I
just like bringing in a laptop to like edit her video. She's just like, let's edit a little bit. All right, nap again.
Because I just did not. I was like this because I knew I was like, okay, I don't want to get in the bed and then have to get up out of it and like try to make it because then I'm just like
the cold floor also feels better.
Yeah.
Like if you know you're gonna have like a session, like you want to be on a nice cold surface. Yeah.
And then like the other thing is like sometimes when you like wrap the blanket around the back of you and you're just like, what? I'm like, thank you for holding me. Like nobody else would hold.
You're my only friends. You make your little puke cocoon. Are you a loud puker? I'm not. Like I try to be very clandestine, but one of my exes, he was like a scream puker. Have you met a scream puker? Oh my god! I didn't, girl. I swear to God, I didn't see that while I was talking about this. I swear to God, I didn't see that. But the scream pukers, they are a unique breed. I dated a scream puker, and I was just like, boy, you better see it. Doctor said you need a backiotomy.
What? I mean, I know that my sneezes sound like a death metal scream. So I don't, but I can imagine somebody just doing.
I mean, basically, it is exactly what it sounds like. There are a few things in this world where it is exactly what it sounds like. You know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know exactly what you're getting. Scream puking. Scream puking. Like it is surreal. Like I try to be as gentle as a Russell in the dead of winter, but the scream pukers are out here in these streets.
My body.
Cry drunks. Like there's not just cry pukers, but like people who just get drunk and cry. In fact, the one I'm thinking of happens to be an Aries. No, Tina, it's not you, but like I have a college friend who's like a drunk crier.
I occasionally drunk cry if I'm watching something, and then I'll just be like, and people just don't understand why I cry.
No, it's always about her boy troubles, but like, it's always about some guy. But the drunk criers are out here in these streets.
Yeah, I'm not a quiet like puker because like it's like my whole body gets racked and I'm just like, whoa. Yeah, like my whole body.
You'll hear me like coughing because like I'm trying to get like the last.
And then the thing is, like, I always end up doing this in like public restrooms. So, because I had like the worst one was when I took too many shots of tequila because my girlfriend's boss thought that I was really cool. And so I had too many shots of tequila and I was like, I've gone too far. So I'm like in like a game center, like one of those adulty, like kind of game centers, like not Dave and Buster's, but like sort of like that. I can't remember what it's called here in Texas. Somebody knows. And so like I'm in there and there's like kids in there too. So I'm in there just like, first of all, I was like, I had squirts. And I was like, oh, God, this is going so bad for me because I'm going to have to do the squirts and I'm going to have to vomit. And like, I knew both things were happening. And so I was like, huh. So I like did this and did like flush and be like, whoa, and like stand top, like not really put my face in.
Can someone revise the Japanese toilets to accommodate both ends? Like we have the technology. We need something for that.
I need something like, because it's like, there's situations arise because the food, we all know my stomach is very sensitive.
Sensitive.
So I was like,
mine opposite. Like I eat expired food all the time and nothing happens. It's like,
okay.
Yeah,
Mother
you're good,
of four
girl.
has it together. Trash can between the knees, blood on toilet.
You know what? I think I MacGyvered this intuitively, but like I don't think I realized I knew like to do that. But yeah, I think I've had to do that. But it wasn't from being drunk, it was food poisoning.
Oh, I had food poisoning.
Yeah. I've never had both ends from drinking, but I had both ends from food poisoning.
I don't think it was like the drinking that caused the both ends. I think it was like the food in my sensitive belly, and then like so that caused,
and then also drinking too much.
And then the drinking was like fronting.
Different issues on each end.
Yeah, so my body was just like,
yeah,
we have problems. Like I feel like there's a mess. Thinking about,
yeah, we're not happy right now.
Over which one are we going to release? Both. We cannot do that.
Yeah.
Over. We only have one toilet.
Yeah.
Both are coming out. We can't make. Oh,
figure it out. Yeah. This is honestly like why, I mean, I was also raised this way, but like I always have a trash can liner as well, because like you, mother of four cats, you rejuvenated a memory that was deep set in my mind. I remember having food poisoning in college. Like, again, this was not alcohol, but it was both ends. And it's just like, I remember having like my little liner in my trash can. And I was just like, I am going to die. This is the worst. This is the worst.
Like, I didn't have it where like both of things were happening at the same time in the sense of, but like like I knew I didn't have a lot of time between them. Like one, and I was like, and so I'm like, trying to finish one.
Yeah.
So it was like a whole nightmare. I've lived my life.
Just that rotation of
yeah. And it was a public bathroom, which made it infinitely worse. I was just like,
I was definitely at home when it was just like both ends. Like it's one instance in my life. I was like, that was the worst.
Yeah, I have like a section of the IBS, and so like every day, every day I applaud myself when I brush my tongue and I don't throw up. Like,
yeah, I use a tongue scraper, and like it makes me gag literally every day. Every day I'm like scrape.
Yeah, I have to be like
to get that. Yeah,
as I said, I can't even brush my tongue anymore.
As we've covered tonight, I'm a little bit insane about my oral hygiene. So like I am forever traumatized by the spitting moment.
Yeah, like I can't like as soon as I go like I can't continue to brush my tongue because it's honestly only going to get worse, and it's actually going to like
that's why I can't
in my stomach get like
that's worse. Why I can't brush my tongue. I have to use a tongue scraper because it's faster. And I'm like, if I position it right, I can do like 1 or 2 scrapes and I'm out. But if I'm brushing, that takes longer, and I'll be like, just gagging the whole. And I'm just like, I can't. This is not sustainable.
I don't want to live this life.
Yeah, this is not what I signed up for. I didn't agree to this. So yeah, I prefer a tongue scraper because like position it properly. And I've been using a tongue scraper since I was in high school. So it's just like, all right, 1, 2, I'm out.
Yeah, no, I like because I have an electric toothbrush. Because I've told you that I have an electric toothbrush that knocks the dirt off. Then I brush my teeth because I am who I am as a person. So like I deal with all of these things, and yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of like I'm super like I gotta take care of my teeth, but like also like I chaw gum. I'm not even gonna say chew it. I chaw it. Like I'm like bubble gum. I don't like it like, and I'm popping like 4 or 5 pieces of like, you know, the round piece, like double bubble, 4 or 5 pieces in my mouth at a time, spit those out, get more. I had to be more careful because like now I have crowns, so it's not from that. But anyways, like it's from but like
that'll get you grinding.
I chewed through several pacifiers back in my day.
Girl,
like in one evening, my friends were like, "We've never seen you." I'm like, actually, I really like chewing. It's kind of like it makes me feel good. Like when I chew things, like I think you know how like you see like cats or like dogs when they're like licking themselves and they look like really like just fucking like this is the best thing. that's what happens to me when I chew. I'm like, so I have to be like careful.
I mean, a lot of people do that in their sleep. You know, they'll grind their teeth, whatever. So it's not even unusual.
But I really like I will listen to like that's one of the noises that I do enjoy is like if I eat things and like I can hear it crunching in my head. I'm like,
how interesting. I hate that now, but that's a recent development from having the Rona and losing all sense of taste and smell. Like that's one of the like well-known symptoms, and that happened to me when I had it. And because I couldn't taste, it ruined a lot of foods for me because that like reduced them all to texture and temperature. So I would eat like a salad being like, I'm unwell. Let me eat like a super healthy meal. Let me make a salad. And it was just like cold, crunchy, and then like chicken texture. Because like, and like, I don't know if I can ever eat that again because I'm so put off because it's like when it was flavorless, it became so off-putting where I'm just like, I don't know if I can finish this right now. Like this is so off-putting, and that has persisted. So I've had to completely switch up my diet, to be honest, because I haven't been able to eat a salad since having the Rona.
I'm particular about the salads that I eat. Just like I finally got pizza, y'all. Yay! I ordered pizza for myself.
I thought pizza was a no-go for you.
I will have a very thin crust, cheese, black olives.
Keep describing. I have to wee, and I don't want you all to hear it, so I'm gonna
But
mute.
you know what? Like we've been here for almost 2 hours, and before my internet decides to be a fucking piece of shit, because I know it will. I know it'll like suddenly like you'll go like I'm gonna go wee, and I'm like and then you'll come back and I'm like But we need to do this again. I swear I'm gonna start this season with you, and I'm gonna try to end it with you.
I mean, I'm already a returning guest. I was on the first season, and I was just like, I don't know why she asked me this late in the season, but
listen, yes. I was trying to like not be. I was trying to be weird. I was like, hey. I think you're super cool and I want to be friends. But like, yeah, like
we are friends.
I know, like now we're friends, but that was
we're friends. Yeah, so like I was just like, and I was like, better late than never.
But I'm literally like, I switched this because originally I kind of set it up to like also meet other people, and now I'm just like, I really just want to do it with people I know and are my friends because like.
I think that's the best content. Like I know people try to like be strategic in how they plan their content. Like, oh, like let me try to diversify my audience. It's just like, girl, that ain't gonna work. The people who like you probably already like the people who you like. So just do shit with your friends.
Yeah, I would much rather do it with my friends and like have all this fun and not have to have like awkward situations. There's a couple people that I'm like getting to know that I will invite on. But like, I don't want to have awkward conversation. I don't want it to be weird. I don't want it to be uncomfortable. And like, if you made it for this whole, if you're on the replay and you made it all the way here, for the love of all that is good and holy, drop a rainbow emoji in this chat. Also, T's information is in the description box. Their channel, their Instagram, and their Patreon, which both of our Patreons have movie nights. And it's good time. So you should join.
It's fun. I got a book club. I do exclusive videos. We do Zoom hangouts. We do Zoom movie nights. It's just like, if you feel like I don't do enough shit on YouTube, it's because I'm doing shit on Patreon, no joke. Because like those are the people who fuck with me, and that's where I stay at.
And that's where you should.
Yeah.
Because listen, this chair, courtesy of Patreon. Because otherwise, I'd still be in my living room with all these like wires all over. If people had seen it, you didn't see it, but it was very intense to game and do all the things in there. Like there were just wires all over. I had to step over a wire to get to my patio. So like, mad love to everybody, and like, thank y'all for hanging out tonight.
Thank you for humoring us in our weirdness.
Thank you.
You got two weirdos, and that's why I love Audra. It's just like I only hang out with weirdos at this point in my life, and that's the way I like it. So if y'all are still here with us, you're a weirdo too, and that's why we love you.
We appreciate you. Mwah. All right, y'all. Don't forget, T's information in the description box below. If you have not checked out their latest video, it's actually very good, so you should. Don't be weird.
Controversial. It's being suppressed, so check it out. It's controversial enough that it's, oh, yes, girl. YouTube was just like, oh, we figured out what you meant when you were saying vacuum. Cut me off at the 3-hour mark. It fucking flatlined. I was just like, okay. It was very obvious because I had 2,000 views in the first hour, which is high. Usually I get around 1,000 to 1,500. It was 2,000. And then it flatlined around hour 3. It's just like the bots figured me out. They're on to me.
They always find out.
I have a whole video about that. I just have to get over my anxiety because for whatever reason, like Tea Talks have been stressing me out. But I have a whole Tea Talk on this kind of shit coming.
Yeah, my commentary videos have been stressing me out to do. Some of them. Like I'll do okay for some of them, and others I get like massively stressed. So
it really depends. Yeah, because like you start playing out like what people are going to say before they even say it.
Yes. And they're like, never mind.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe I just won't do this video.
I'm like, I don't want to throw this in the trash. I've actually like fully deleted videos and be like,
Do you know how many videos I filmed and never even put up or edited? I was just like, this is a bad idea.
Same. I'm losing. But we have to pee, y'all. So
yeah, I do. My bladder is
so full.
I got a fupa, but it's just my bladder right now.
I have the fupa and the bladder. So like both things are happening, and the fupa is from my bladder. So y'all, love y'all so much. Remember, share, like, subscribe, do the things, keep us doing well. We appreciate all of y'all for coming and hanging out. You made it. And I think that's it. I'm gonna put on the music. Bye y'all.